So taking a look here, we have booked tons and tons and tons of calls specifically for our agency. You can see that we have a system where every time someone books a call with us, they automatically get put into this Google Sheet. And you can see, I can just keep scrolling forever. We've been booking calls after calls after calls, and we track where the calls come from, whether it comes from Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we're able to fill our calendar specifically with our cold DM script, right? So I'm going to hop into this Google Doc and walk through exactly what we do so you guys can fill your calendar, start closing deals specifically from cold outreach on Instagram. So when doing cold outreach on Instagram, specifically cold DMs, there are two approaches that you can take when moving forward. You can either do the direct approach or the permission approach. Now, we have used both, and they have been able to completely fill our calendar. So you can kind of see here, I'll even show you on our calendar here. If I go back, you can see that we have been pretty full for the past couple of weeks, right? It's looking pretty good, right? And basically a lot of it has came from Instagram cold DMs, right? So I'll show you exactly our process. So today we're going to walk through both approaches and show you which method will work for you the best. But before we get into that, let me show you how we actually find leads to send our DMs to. Because the thing is, if your leads aren't qualified and interested in your product, they're not going to turn into sales or clients, right? So what we do is we actually find and scrape leads directly from Instagram. Now, finding people to send our cold DMs on Instagram is honestly way easier than you guys may think. It's not that hard. What you must do is find 5 to 10 Instagram pages that are in your niche. So if you're in the agency space, for example, you want to look for people who are teaching you how to grow an agency, right? So things like Charlie Morgan, Jordan Platten, Iman Gadzhi, the big names in the space. Going to their pages is very, very good because everyone who follows them is a lead, right? Everyone who likes their page is a lead. Every viewer that they have on their page is a lead that you can actually sell your products to. Now, I'll be honest, right? You want to choose specific influencers that aren't too big, right? If your influencer is too big, let's say they have 5, 6, 10 million followers, the thing is a lot of them are going to be not qualified, right? Because they're serving the masses. And also a lot of them are going to be from lower tier countries. That's what we've seen. You're going to want to follow people who have around 100K to maybe like at most 300K followers. That's really going to be your sweet spot. Now, when you actually go there, you're going to want to scrape the likes, comments, and shares on all of their highest performing posts. So we use a website called Appify to scrape all of the leads from a certain post on a successful Instagram page. So I'm going to show you exactly how to do that right now. So this is Appify. Now I'm going to add a link to this in the description. And if you guys want a one-to-one step-by-step guide on how we literally fill our calendar with our cold DMs and our scripts and our systems, then click the link below and hop on a call with us and see if we'll be a good fit to work with us one-on-one. But basically we use an Instagram like scraper from Appify. We just copy literally the link to a post. So let's say we go to Instagram right now. I'm going to go to one of our posts, right? If you can see here, there's our Instagram page. If I go to one of our posts here, I can just copy this here and I can paste it in the link here, right? Once you copy and paste in the link, it's going to track it. You can just click start and you can just keep running and download the leads. Like that's it. You just click run and the leads get downloaded, which is insane, right? And what's going to happen is you're going to get a bunch of leads in an Excel sheet looking something like this. So this Excel sheet is just full of a bunch of leads who of course like the post, and because they liked it, they're interested in our product. So you can just go outreach them and turn them into booked calls, right? So that's very, very simple. Now let me show you guys the exact script and system we use to actually book these clients. So first approach that we like to use is the direct approach, right? Now, so we've developed this direct approach because we just need to put in as much volume as possible in the beginning, right? In the beginning, you don't want to focus too much on like your outreach strategy. In a sense, you want to focus more on volume. Volume negates luck in any scenario. So I suggest finding the fastest way to get as many outreaches out as possible and doing that. So if you're just starting out, I recommend to use this specific approach here. So you'll probably get a lower percentage of responses, I'll be honest, but you'll be able to send these outreaches out much faster. And I will say a caveat, you need to make sure that your Instagram page is profile optimized. So what you want to do is you want to make sure your Instagram page looks like it can be trustworthy, right? So if I go to our page, we have about 770 followers, which isn't that much, but we have our Meta verified badge. We have been posting consistently. We have a lot of views. One of our videos got over 4.6 million views. So that shows that we know what we're doing and kind of scaling and growing, getting views and getting people interested in our product. So you want to make sure that your profile is at least optimized and looks trustworthy. So let's take a look at our exact direct approach script. So we just type in their name, right? We want to make sure it's at least somewhat personalized. We say, hey, name, whatever, let's say Zach. Hey, Zach, hope you're doing well. Just curious, do you happen to know anyone who wants to start a marketing agency / coaching business? That's it. Very simple, right? We don't want to make this too complicated. It really is that simple. Because at the end of the day, when people see that your page looks good and you actually know what you're doing, that's the biggest selling point of all. So it's really, really important, like I'll say again, to make sure your page looks good. And you just have to put in tons of volume, right? So, and we always like to make sure that we ask someone if they know someone else, right? And we do this because it's much more effective to ask someone if they know someone else instead of just asking them directly, right? It doesn't seem like a direct ask. And plus, you can get more leads from it. Alex Hormozi talks about this all the time, and it works very well. We've seen it work very well for us. Once they say yes to that, then we say, awesome, my guy. Well, we basically have a free course and coaching program plus community where we help you develop a six-figure agency with all the tools we've used to do it multiple times over ourselves and our students. Little shrug. If we jumped on a quick 15-minute call tomorrow to break it down, would that be interest of you? Very simple, right? Because we want to get them on a call. The goal of this is to get them on a call. I want you guys to think about this like Tinder or Hinge or dating. The goal of Hinge and Tinder is to get them on the date. That is the number one thing. And you can't get them on the date if you're on the app. So you have to get their number first, get it closer, and you want to just move the conversation forward as soon as possible. And also, side note is the fact that this works very well because our offer is insanely good, right? If you have an offer that sounds really good, it's going to work. If your offer sucks, it's not going to work. I'm sorry, guys. You need to make sure your offer is dialed in. Now, like I said, if you guys want to figure out exactly how to build a really, really good offer, hop on a call with us and we'll talk more about it. Or you can check some of our free content here. It breaks down exactly how we build out an offer that works. But basically, so once you have an offer that's dialed in and you have this outreach method, it's very simple. Now, I'm going to show you exactly one of our successful conversations in our Go High level to show you what the flow usually looks like, right? So if I go to Go High level here, I'm going to go to the Conversations tab right here. And in the Conversations tab, I'm going to take a look at the person we just recently booked. So perfect. This is an example of someone we actually got on a call. So we just said, hey, Skylar, hope we're doing well. Literally the same exact script. And then they said, okay, likewise, They talked about they want to learn about marketing, but they don't know if they want to start an agency. So we just put that out there. And then he said, if it's free, why do you want to jump on a call? LOL. It's funny because we have that as an anchor. And of course, our offer, we can dive deeper into the offer, but that's our anchor pretty much. So we want to see if it's the right person, then we follow up, right? So what we want to do is make sure is that with these systems, you want to do at least 3 follow-ups, right? Because the thing is, most people are going to answer after your second or third follow-up. You got to understand persistence is very important when you do cold outreach, right? It's very, very important. So that's how you set up there. So we actually sent a quick meme, and then the meme really works. Like I've seen like the memes really work for people to answer. So it's actually really funny. And then he said, awesome, I'm here, man, let's call. So he said, are you available at 2 p.m.? He said, my bad, I was busy. Let's do something on Monday. He sent his information and we set things up there. So it really is just about putting in the reps and setting up the foundations for your outreach system. But that's really exactly our direct approach script. That's really all it is. Now let's talk about the permission approach. Now the permission approach, of course, is a little different. It's a little more complicated, but it works better because you get a higher percentage of people closing because it seems like you put more effort into the outreach. And let me explain, right? So what you want to do is essentially I want to ask your prospect for the permission to pitch something or give something away completely for free, right? So you have something of value that you want to give them, but you ask if they want it, right? Now, this is really good because it makes you seem like you care about their time, which you obviously should, but it basically removes their guard and makes you seem way more trustworthy because you're just asking them if they want it, right? You're not trying to bother someone and just say, hey, you want my thing? Like, you want to see if they're even interested in the first place. So it works out very well with that. Now, I say you should record a video explaining what you offer, and let me show you the exact outreach video that we use to actually make sure people book a call with us and see our stuff. So this is basically the opener video I would send for the permission approach. Let me just show you what it looks like. Hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. Love the page, by the way. Real quick, while I have you here, would you be open to getting more appointments or more bookings to your spa? Don't worry, I won't pitch you anything without your permission. I just have a huge opportunity for you, and I think you'll love it. So if you're interested and you want more info, just send me a thumbs up. And if not, no worries. Hope you have a great day. So very simple, right? We want to do this because it's very, very, very easy to just answer this. We want to be respectful of people's time, right? So we want to make it very short. As you guys can see, it was just 20 seconds. And we also want to make sure that it's very simple to respond. We don't want them to say a bunch of things like a paragraph. We just want them to send us a thumbs up. If they send us a thumbs up, that means they're interested, and then we go into the pitch and book a call with them or show them a Loom or VSL, right? So that's kind of what it looks like on that end. So once they send you a thumbs up, send them a Loom video with your VSL, right? So we want to make sure we send it through Loom, because if you send it through Loom, you can track every single person who watches it. So once you see that they watch your video, you can reach out to them and say, hey, what do you think of the video we saw, right? So let me open up Miro and show you what the process would look like for both different outreach methods. All right, awesome. So we're here in Miro. Let's talk about the two different approaches. So the first, of course, is the direct approach. Hold on, let me zoom in here. First, of course, is the direct approach, and it's very simple. So then first we have the initial message, which is the initial text message that we send. Then if they don't respond, we have, of course, follow-up 1. Then, of course, we have follow-up 2, right? And, of course, we have follow-up 3. Now, follow-up 3, like I recommend, should always be a meme, right? If you send a meme, people always respond. I don't know what it is. The memes are funny, and people always respond to those. So follow-up 1 should be a text, follow-up 2 should be a text, follow-up 3 should be a meme. And once they actually follow up and they answer, very simple, you just book a call with them by asking them for their information. Ask them for their email and their phone number. Very simple, way easier to do. Now, if we look at the permission approach, the first thing we send is, of course, that video. So we send that video of us, or a selfie video of us talking and explaining what we do. We wait for the thumbs up, right? The thumbs up that they do. Let me see if I could. It's a horrible thumbs up, but you guys get the point. We send them a thumbs up. Once we have the thumbs up, then we go back down, and that looks crazy. Once they send a thumbs up, then we send them a Loom video showing exactly what we do. And then our follow-ups for that would be asking them, were they able to see the video? So we ask them, did you see the video? If we make sure that they saw the video and they respond and they like it, then we, of course, we book a call with them after. So we book a call with them. All right, so we make sure that's the case, and we always want to make sure as well in the Loom video we add a link to go book a call with us anyway. So let's say they see the Loom video and they're ready to go, we immediately give them a link to say, hey, by the way, if you want to learn more about us or set things up with us, just book a call with us and we could hop on and talk more about it. But that's basically the two systems that we have here that work very well. Like right now we are using the direct approach because we've seen that's way easier to scale. However, the permission approach has better percentage of closing. So it just depends on what you want to do and how you want to actually scale this. But that's basically exactly how you would actually book calls with our cold DM script, right? Now, I hope you guys got a lot of value from these videos. I love making these videos like I always say, and I'll see you guys in the next one.